Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. Finished in twilight blue metallic with a full ivory or beige leather interior, whatever you want to call it, which looks fantastic on the car, by the way. 67,000 miles on this car. It's been very well looked after. Lights and lenses completely clear. Front end's very clean. Can't see any obvious stone chips anywhere on the bonnet there. It's very clean there. Apologise, it's getting a little bit darker now, but I've got quite a few videos to get through, and as it's so clean, this one hardly needs anything pointing out, so hence that's why I've done it. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing, absolutely unmarked. The panel work is absolutely fantastic on our car, very clean and tidy. It all looks lovely and original as well. Near side rear alloy, again, completely unmarked. Coming around the back, bumper corners, no marks there at all, likewise tailgate. And then to the offside, driver's side of the car, as with the near side, wonderfully smooth on the panels there. Bumper corners again, very clean and tidy. Offside rear alloy, absolutely unmarked again. The remaining panel works absolutely fantastic on the car. And then offside front alloy, just to finish it off, again without a mark. It really is in beautiful condition, this car. Coming to the boot now, huge boots on the CR-Vs of course, and been kept very nicely. Quick release handles there, so you can just drop seats down in one motion. But so it's been kept very well indeed. It is electric tailgate of course, and that works absolutely exactly as it should. Button on the key, hatch, and inside the car as well. So coming inside the car now, big wide opening rear doors and this beautiful interior trim. It looks absolutely fantastic on the car. Unfortunately the video, because it's a bit grainy this time around, doesn't really do it justice at all. And there's a huge amount of rear leg room in these CR-Vs. They are predominantly family cars, and I kind of hand-pick these because they quite often they're quite battered about in the back where kids have been, but this one's been given very gentle life indeed. Let's come to the front passenger door card. As with all of the others, been kept really nicely. Footwell area is very clean and tidy, and front passenger seat there, not been seen a lot of use in all honesty. So finally coming to the driver's door card, again in wonderful condition. Electric memory seat buttons there as well. Driver's seat, again, being kept very well. It's the only one that's going to have any kind of wear on it, but even that's absolutely minor and far better than most of this age and mileage. Right, so sat inside the car now, engine's running through the section, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Dash is in beautiful condition. Sat nav, you can see they're working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse. Sorry, shaky hands. Reverse parking camera with the little gridded sections there to help you line up, all working exactly as intended. But it really has been kept wonderfully well, this car. Come to the main dashboard binnacle, hopefully you can see there, 67,951 miles, no warning lights whatsoever on the vehicle. Oops, sorry. So the video went into the lateness of the day, but also just by how videos are, it really just does not do justice how nice this car is. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and locking wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. So finally, just to come under this wonderfully presented engine bay, as is always the case with Honda, simply brilliant engines, they really are. They are cam chain driven, as I think I probably mentioned later on in the video, but a wonderful unit. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and it's a 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, EY13UGS, and mileage at the start of the road test is 67,945 miles. The reason we do the videos is basically so that if you're looking at the car in an advert online, you actually get to see that very car in operation. We feel it's important, if people are willing to travel the huge distances they do to come and see our cars, that we go to the time and effort to do this for you. We know to our cost, unfortunately, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car pardon me, which looks great in the description and the photographs, only to drive it to find out it's got an issue whilst driving the vehicle, which you should have been told about, so that's why we do it. Road test is also done on these very quiet roads close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. The car itself has been beautifully looked after by the main dealers. We bought this from the main dealer, the Honda main dealer, and it drives absolutely perfectly. I mean, it really does. Engine starts instantly, settles to completely smooth and even idle. Temperature gauge running as a third, and it's been running for well over 2 hours now actually, so it's right up to full operating temperature. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The engines themselves are just beautiful units. These 2.2s are just so smooth when they're up and running. Cam chain driven, no cam belts to worry about on them, which is really good, and they have a reputation for, you know, reliability and longevity. Was absolutely unmatched in its class. But they're just a lovely unit to use, and it works perfectly with the automatic, and that's not always the case with turbo diesels, unfortunately, because some can be quite laggy, which means that they can make the gearbox slightly indecisive, but this just works seamlessly with the gearbox. Gearbox itself, again, wonderfully tough and beautifully engineered things. Gear changes are lovely and slick on the car, which they should be. Also, when you're static and selecting drive and neutral and reverse, there's no delays or thunks in engagement, but you wouldn't expect it to on a car this mile, or certainly on a Honda of this mileage anyway, because they're designed to last sort of well over 200,000 miles with just normal servicing. But the gear change, as I said, you can use it in full automatic mode if you really want to. There are these paddles on the steering wheel, you know, plus on the right, left on the down on the left hand side. Really only used, in my personal opinion, for when you're going to do an overtaking manoeuvre and just want to make sure the car stays in the gear it should, and it all works exactly as it's intended as well. Steering on the car, lovely and accurate and precise on these cars. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back to the steering wheel of the car at the speed, or when I'm up to the legal limit now, and there's no vibrations at all. But it's a lovely power steering system, very precise, very accurate, very nicely weighted as well. You know, the Honda know what this car's design criteria is, and that's obviously as family transport. So to have something with overly quick steering would make it quite unpleasant, because it'd be too sharp in its responses and too slovenly, and they become a bit sort of wandery. But this hits the sweet spot with that in that sense. Likewise, the chassis delivers a really comfortable ride, in pretty much all circumstances. Only the sharpest ridges will catch it out, as it will any car. But it's just a wonderful setup, because what it does, it gives you this very comfortable ride, but when you go through the corners you don't get huge amounts of body roll and body motion going on, which can be quite unpleasant for passengers. There's also absolutely no noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, so when you hit a bump you'll hear it hitting the bump, but no chatterings or knocking noises at all, so everything is exactly as it should be. Brakes on the car, just going to give them a little bit of a shove. There's someone behind me. Just give it a quick shove now, but really good brake pedal on the vehicle, no pulsing or juddering at all coming back through on there. Looking around inside the car, I've always loved these interiors. The dashboard is, the whole interior is beautifully put together, no squeaks, rattles or knocking buzzers or anything like that inside the car. It's a beautifully made vehicle. These ones with the two-tone lighter interior are very sought after. I can see why. I've had a few with this colour combination, because it's nicely done. It's not garish at all, but what it does, it adds so much more natural light into the car. I mean, black leather interiors are lovely, of course, but hot days you burn your backside, cold days you freeze. This is, because it's neutral, you don't get those extremes of temperatures inside, but on duller days like today you get this lovely interior, which just lends itself to sort of more uplifting, let's say, than sort of some of the drabber interiors on cars. Everything, by the way, working exactly as intended. The sat nav, you can see there, working perfectly. I checked the air conditioning in a warm workshop, and it's blowing out lovely cold air. You've got dual zone climate control system, of course, on the car, so different temperatures side to side.
but it's the quality of the switch gears, I always say, absolutely brilliant. These are little things that Honda do so well. It's just a wonderfully put together interior in that sense as well. Dashboard is dead simple, easy to operate, of course. Auto lights, auto wipers, a multifunction steering wheel with all, you know, the modern gizmos on there. You've got your cruise control, works again exactly as intended, and further information display down here, and hands-free functions at the bottom left there. But it's just a lovely car to drive. This version is a four-wheel drive vehicle, albeit there are no buttons to operate the four-wheel drive on Honda CR-Vs, because it does it all for you. And Honda knew very quickly that most people will be driving in perfectly good conditions on good roads like I am right now. So there's no point having four-wheel drive whirring away, you know, using extra fuel and getting through your tyres and the mechanical bits more quickly. So only as and when the four-wheel drive needs to come in, it'll do it for you. So if you're on snow, mud, ice, whatever happens to be, and accelerate away, just momentarily you'd lose grip on the front wheels, and then instantly the rear wheels will kick in for four-wheel drive. And I've used it, and it's brilliant. You know, I've towed many a caravan using a CR-V, and got close to getting stuck with one of them. As I said at the start of the video, brief as it might be, it's literally just to show you the car in operation, but also to feedback on anything at all that's worth mentioning. And there's nothing on this car at all. It drives absolutely beautifully, and I'm not giving it any allowance at all for age or mileage as a kind of a get out, because it drives as well as any I've ever driven, regardless of mileage. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.